Hey there everyone, Captain Beards here, bringing you another Langrisser mobile video. Let's get it. Alright guys, so today's video is going to be a guide slash showcase on your girl's SHELFANIEL. I did put this one up before on my old channel, but I wanted to do a brand new one just because I have been playing with the unit a lot more. I got her to level 60, so I just wanted to go from there and tell you guys any of my recommendations that I'm currently having at the moment, right? So let's start off from the top here. Obviously, I have her as a holy here, and she's part of two faction powers, which is going to be the Princess Alliance, which obviously is a strong one currently because we do not have the leader for the Yellis Legends. Now this faction is going to be hella fun when it does come, just because, you know, Listel with SHELFANIEL and Angelina and Lanford even sounds a little bit different, and I can only imagine who's the leader for this. If you guys know who the leader is, please comment down below and let me know so I can look up that person. But besides that, so the Princess Alliance is where she sits, where she has a home. Now, a lot of people say Luna is the better Princess Alliance holder than she is, and it's an argument, right? Because the thing about Luna's faction power is that when she uses it, it does no damage to bosses. Like, so when you're doing that fixed damage to a dragon, for instance, the dragon is immune to the fixed damage, so it will not proc off. Whereas in SHELFANIEL, it's a very simple thing. You use a skill, you're going to get 12% increased damage, which is pretty freaking strong. And I currently like SHELFANIEL's fusion power a little bit more than Luna's. So let's look at her talent here, which is Magic Lineage. Unit HP increases with int by up to 10%. So read this carefully guys, unit HP increases with int by up to 10%. So the higher the int, the more HP she is going to have. Understand that guys, by up to 10%. Whenever a skill is used to deal damage, the cooldown of this skill is reduced by 1. So pretty much if she goes and hits somebody with any of her skills, the cooldown of that skill is going to be reduced. So very simple thing here, nothing too crazy. Obviously when you start it up, it's going to become a lot more powerful, and it can be extremely nice when she's up to 6-star. So her talent is pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy here, but I still do like it. Being a mage, having your skills drop down on their cooldown is very good, and then more HP with more ints, and the more int she has, the more attack damage she's going to be doing, so it all benefits quite well. Let's look at her upgrade class section. Alright, so she starts as a mage, obviously, right? And then you could take her two paths. So one path is taking her to the Saints, right into the Empress, which if you do not have Luna running a fusion power, then I highly recommend doing this. Go straight to the Empress and unlock her Princess Alliance buff. It's very good, and you can use it anywhere. PvP, PvE, anywhere. World Arena, doesn't matter. As long as it's a princess, they're using a skill, they're gonna get 12% increased damage, which is really good. And then you got Heaven Sanction, which is a very powerful move. The crit on it is increased, obviously, by 50%, but the range on it is very freaking good. It has a 5-block range, which is super nice. And you guys will see that when I show the showcase here. And if it's against demons, it's going to do extra damage, and the bonus damage is high, guys. It's very high. So when you do this move against demons, it's almost like doing single targets to every one of the demons. So pretty good here. And then the other path you can go with her is the Archmage into the Wizard. Now, do I recommend this? Kind of, a little bit. I mean, if you want to pick up some extra moves here, reinforcement's not too bad. Attack support is not too bad either because it's a passive, so you don't have to activate it, but it is a 2 cost, so I don't even recommend picking it up if I'm being honest with you. Now, you got Desiccate, which is not too bad either. It's another AoE move, and it can silence the enemies, so that is not too bad either. So running a setup, if you have her as your Princess Alliance leader, obviously you're going to be running the Princess Alliance buff. And then your second spot is going to be Heaven Sanction, and then your third spot, I will go into it when we get to the skills. But besides that, the Bishop, don't even go Bishop. They're not worth it. The skill here is not worth it, and the soldiers are not worth it. So let's go over to the skills now. Alright, so this is my current setup right now, and I swap over that for that. So this is how my setup usually looks unless I'm running on goblins, in which I switch over the Princess Alliance for an AoE move. But for now, I'm running Magic Defense Break, which is very good. The reason why it's good is because it's not a skill, so you don't have to activate it. It's a 1 cost, and it happens before the battle. So before battle, 50% chance to reduce enemies' magic defense by 25%, last 1 turn. So before she's about to attack somebody, there's a coin flip chance that she's going to break their magic defense. And if she breaks magic defense, her magic attack is going to do much more damage. And if she's doing a single magic attack, so if you switch off Heaven's Sanction for something like Cleanse, which is single move here, single target move, right, that can be increased in damage if this went off, right? So it becomes extremely powerful when you're running a kit like this, right? Or you can just simply run it just to help out other units, right? So say you have her running Magic Defense Break. She goes and attacks a unit, and you know she's not really going to kill the unit, but if this procs off, boom, Lana can come in, or any of your other hard-hitting mages can come in and finish the job, because the enemy's magic defense is reduced by 25%, which is quite a bit. Now, the other move here, which is our other 1 cost move, is going to be the Reinforcement. After taking action, restores 20% unit HP, which is not bad either, and I kind of recommend this. If you feel like your SHELFANIEL is taking a lot of hits, go ahead and throw this on and screw the Magic Defense Break, just because it's going to give her some self-sustainability, which is pretty nice. But besides that, that's my setup. The Goddess Glow, obviously I'm running this because that's a Princess Alliance leader, and all you have to do is do skills with your other Princess Alliance units, and they're going to get 12% increased in damage, so that's extremely good too. Other honorable mentions here, Heaven's Sanction is a must pretty much, depending, obviously, if you're fighting only 1 unit, then you can single target them, right? So something like this, Cleanse will do much more damage to a single enemy than what Heaven's Sanction will do, so do understand that, guys. Besides that, you got Demolition. So if you do not need the Princess Alliance buff and you want to make her a pure AoE damage dealer, remove the buff. This is if you have Luna, by the way. And you can throw on something like Demolition, so that way you have 2 really strong AoE moves. Or you can throw on something like Desiccate for PvP. PvP, this move is clutch, right? Because it's going to attack multiple enemies, but you have a 50% chance to silence the enemy, which comes in huge, especially when you got units like Liana running around because she has Prayer, and even Tiaras because she has Miracle, right? And if you want just more straight up damage, you can go with Cleanse. It's your single target high damage dealing move. It's our strongest single target move, so something to think about here. But this is my current setup that I'm running right now as my leader, Princess Faction leader. One thing I forgot to mention about the upgrade class section too is if you keep her as the Empress, she's going to be a holy. That means her normal attacks are going to deal more damage against demons. And if you switch her over to Wizard, she becomes a pure mage, which means that her normal attacks don't do extra damage against demons. They're just going to do pretty much normal damage that you would see from a mage. So do understand that, guys, depending on which kit you run with. That's why I kept her as Empress, as a mage Chris, I should say, right? Going into class section here. So her next ones that she's going to unlock are the High Elves. High Elves are extremely good, especially if you can focus on where you're at on the map. So if you look at the top right and see where you're going to be, where your location is, these units can be very good for you. Attack and defense increased by 10%. Plus, they still keep the range, so you don't have to worry about going up to somebody and trying to hit them. You still can be a nice mage here. Now, let's go into soldiers. All right, so the soldiers. This page gets a little bit tricky, if I'm being honest with you. She is 1 unit that you're going to be swapping off her soldiers quite a bit, especially on depending what you're fighting, right? So if you're fighting somebody like Anarchy from Anarchy's Gym, it's simply the Shrine Maidens, right? Just because when he hits his Macho Blast, these soldiers take less damage, right? So if they're at 100% HP, they're going to take 40% reduced damage. So Shrine Maidens can come in absolutely clutch when it comes to against Anarchy's Gym. Do note, when you run these guys, or girls I should say, when you run these girls, you're not going to be able to have high mobility like you would with the Sky Archers, but you get pure access to holy damage because they're holy units. So that means when you deal damage with these girls, you're gonna have 100% holy damage against any demons. So demons are gonna go down really freaking fast. Bishops, I do not recommend these units at all, just because hero healing effects plus 6%, which is effing stupid. I don't know why it's on SHELFANIEL, and it kind of pisses me off to see them here. So unless her third class, these bishop units she gets another class here that has healing moves, then it's kind of pointless, if I'm being honest with you guys. Wizards are not bad either, right? When attacking, increases attack and magic defense by 18%. So do understand that, guys, by magic defense. So if you're attacking a mage, you're going to have a little bit more defense against them. And also you're just going to get a nice attack increase. So not too bad if you're very offensive with your SHELFANIEL. And then my favorite personal units are the Sky Archers. Now you're going to have good mobility with the Sky Archers, if not the best mobility with her, because of what they do. Terrain has no effect on mobility. So sand, water, grass, lava, doesn't matter. No, I'm just kidding. All right, doesn't matter though. She's gonna be able to get her full movements, whatever she's stepping on with the Sky Archers. So that's really nice. And then when attacking, attack increases by 12%. It's not a lot, but I mean 12% is still something, especially for a unit of her caliber. She's not gonna be your crazy damage dealer, but she is going to bring some very nice support to the table, and she's going to bring some good side deeps to the table, if I should say. Then your last unit that I could probably mention here, my honorable mention, besides the High Elf, but I already talked about them, is going to be the Leviathan. Leviathans are very good, but I don't like them, if I'm being honest with you guys. I know a lot of people will fight me on this. I just really don't like these guys. When in water and attacking units above 50% HP, after entering battle, attack increases by 15%. That's just way too freaking much, if I'm being honest with you guys. You gotta be in water, and you have to make sure the unit has above 50% HP, and then when you enter the battle, attack increases by 15%. No, I don't like it, if I'm being honest with you guys, and I do not recommend running the Leviathans, for reals. Run Sky Archers, Wizards, and Shrine Maidens, and you're good to go. Leviathans are just not worth it at the current moment, in my opinion. This is all my opinion. Moving on to the equipment now. Alright, so as you can see, I'm running a lot of SR equipment on her, and that's because I haven't got where I want to be with SSR equipment just yet, and it's much easier to level up the SR equipment anyways. Right, so HP plus 6% here. Now you can switch this over to Int, and she's going to get more HP, because remember her talent here, unit HP increases with Int, right? So believe it or not, if I could roll over this staff for something that increases Int, like Lana's staff here, but obviously I'm not going to take that from my Lana. I'd rather kill myself. All right, so look at that, Chris. So Chris, I might be stripping you of your weapon soon. I'm not too sure, Chris. I don't know. Because that staff is looking really good. Yeah, so I don't know. I might be taking... Oh, wait, is that it? Yeah, that's it. Alright, so running Sage Staff on your SHELFANIEL is the way to go. You're going to see increased damage, and the more Int she has, the more HP you're going to get. So do understand that running that is super solid, which I'm going to be switching over before I get to the showcase. Anyways, besides that, moving on to the Greenleaf coat here, which is her chest piece, chest, waist, whatever they want to call that, right? So I got HP again, but you can easily swap that over to Int, because like I said, remember, unit HP increases with Int, so this is very important. So swapping over something to Int is the way to go, and obviously you can see my stats there too. Next piece here is Greenleaf Crown, HP plus 6%. Again, you could keep the HP to make her more self-sustainable, but higher Int means more HP with her. So, ergo, you want to switch everything to Int. And then I got the Holy Grail, which is Int plus 2%. When dealing damage, restores 7% of HP of friendly units 1 block adjacent to you after taking action, which is super clutch, because you're going to get the Int, and then you also get that little healing on the side there. So this is my current equipment set, but I am going to be swapping over most of the stuff for Int, which I should see a lot more damage, and I actually should see a lot more HP on her when I switch her over to Int instead of HP, because unit HP increases with Int. Right? You gotta make sure you're reading that right, because if you're not reading it right, then you could really screw up. Anyways, so the enchantments. Let's go over to this. Forge. enchant. All right. So for enchantments, I am currently running magic, which is the way to go. Attack and int plus 5%. Skill damage increases by 10%. What in the world just dropped? Skill damage increased by 10%. AoE increases by an extra 5%. So your AoE damage is going to be increased by 5%, and your normal skill damage is going to be increased by 10%, unless that stacks. I don't know if that stacks, so it means 15%. Not too sure on that. So magic is the go-to for her, and I couldn't really recommend anything else. I know she's got clock. Clock is very popular on her too, just because of Heaven's Sanction. But she does get the reduced cooldown already, especially if you start her up, then that reduced cooldown increase. So clock becomes unnecessary, if I'm being honest with you guys. You could run something like Thorns, maybe. Tree of Life is not too bad either for that pure support, but you can build her more on inside. So I would say magic is the go-to way, if I'm being honest with you guys. I don't see anything else being as good as magic would be on her. So pretty much straightforward build there. Anyways, guys, that is my current build on your girl SHELFANIEL. And everything I said here is my opinion and how I'm building her. And obviously, I'm going to be changing her gear up. But right now, let's go over to the showcase. Alright, guys, in the showcase here, I chose little bit of an easier mission just to be really quick with this, because the video is probably already long as is. So I just wanted to get this done. Now, in a map like this, believe it or not, the Leviathans will come in clutch, just because they'll allow her to be on water, which means she'll get her buff. So this is one thing that I tell you guys about SHELFANIEL, is based upon the map and based upon the terrain, whatever you want to call it, right? You can really swap off her soldiers. But usually other units, you're not really going to do that. You don't really care. But somebody like SHELFANIEL, you're going to want to make sure you adjust to the enemies you're fighting and adjust to the terrain of the map. So lots of water, then you're either going to want to roll Sky Archers or you're going to want to roll the Leviathans. Now in this case, I could swap over the Sky Archers for the Leviathans, but I just don't know right now, just because I'm about to hit this this Archer here. So I think I might want to keep the Sky Archers. Now, I do have a big AoE move, but I think I'm going to swap over Heaven's Sanction for Cleanse right now. Let's see. I might go with Cleanse. I'll just go normal attack, right? Okay, we'll do that. And then we'll keep all of our other units pretty much the same, right? Yeah, we'll go Princess Power here. This is what we'll do. Alright. What's our reach on her? Okay, so as you can see, running the Sky Archers, I have complete mobility here, so I can run right across the water and it won't matter. But in this case, I do want to activate the Princess Alliance buff and then go ahead and use act again on SHELFANIEL and then have SHELFANIEL attack the flyer there. But for now, let's move everybody else first. Here we go. SHELFANIEL partners up. Her fusion power partners up really well with her sister just because of lightning. Lightning being a skill means that it's going to do 12% increased damage. Same thing with our girl Lana here. She partners up really well with SHELFANIEL too, because being a skill, the majority of the time she's going to be hitting skills. That means they're going to be 12% increased damage, which becomes a very, very viable. So something to think about. And like I said, if you are fighting a boss, then you might want to run SHELFANIEL as your fusion power leader. But in this case, since I'm fighting normal units, I could actually run Luna in one of these spots, have her as the leader, and then have SHELFANIEL with all of her moves. So that way she has 2 hitting moves instead of just 1 Heaven Sanction move. So something to also think about. Alright. So let's go here and do a normal attack and see what she's got. For normal attack, we got magic defense break there, but do note that if you are running the Sky Archers, I believe they do not use magic damage, so something to think about. So I'm not sure if that's correct, so if I'm wrong, just comment down below and let me know. If I'm right, then cool, awesome, I'm right. Alright, so now we're gonna move her. First, let's do this. We'll prayer reach. Okay, prayer will reach these two, so we're gonna do normal heal here. And then what we're going to do, check this out, guys. We're going to move our shelf here. and hit Heaven Sanction, and boom, we're just going to hit all of the units here. Now, do note, none of these are demons, well, except for the one over there. He's going to take a lot of freaking damage and might even die, but these 3 are going to take about normal damage. All right, so let's do it. Boom. Look at that. So a good 25% HP off of all of them, which is absolutely beautiful. Now, if I hit Black Hole here, now Black Hole is not going to reach those 2, so that's see if we can weave it here. There we go. And Black Hole should do a pretty good amount of damage. Nothing too crazy. There we go. Look at that. Took 1 down. And I got a magic defense break there, which is beautiful. Now I'm going to hit lightning here, which is going to refresh it. On top of that, by me hitting lightning, it is a skill. That means it is doing increased damage. Now I don't really care if he goes and kills my Lana here because it doesn't really matter. SHELFANIEL with the Heaven Sanction coming in clutch there. I know it wasn't a high level mission, guys, and it wasn't such a long showcase, but I think that got the gist of how you really want to play with her. She's a phenomenal unit, and I absolutely love her, and you guys already know if you've been watching me since day one, Princess Power, Twin Power team is my favorite team in the game. So yes, my opinion on her is a little bit biased, but that's because I do love the team. I think they're phenomenal units. Anyways, guys, remember, it's your boy, Captain Beards. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as always, stay positive. Peace out.